Okay. So yesterday we were discussing about the Redux saga, right? So I have added the files into our React folder into Redux React.js into videos. That folder we are using, right? Redux class videos, React class videos. Here just I added the images, whatever we are showcasing, right, yesterday.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, yesterday we started discussing about the Redux saga, right? So in this we observed the saga will work by using the generators, right? So we have two types of sagas. What are those? Watchers and workers, right? Yeah, the Watchers sagas, the main purpose of Watcher sagas is to identify the for which action it has to be watched, right? Okay, for which action it has to be watched. Okay, once the matched action, whatever we dispatch, right? If it matches to the Watcher saga, the Watcher saga will intercept the action and it will invoke the worker sagas, right? The worker saga will have the actual async logic it contains. Okay, so and also we have the commands, right? Two types of commands we have, blocking and non-blocking commands. So we saw the commands like select, put, call, and all, and okay. So these are select is used to get the information from store. Put is used to dispatch an action, right? And call is used to call a function which is mostly invoke the actual functionality whatever we have to perform the async logic. Okay, so take every and take latest, what it will do, it is similar to the call. Okay, so similar to call. Okay, but use it to call the non-blocking functionality. Okay, non-blocking functionality. So by using these three methods, what we can do, we can call the Watcher sagas, right? Or Watcher sagas or worker sagas whenever it performs a particular action, right? That we will see. Okay, so what happens whenever we are dispatching an action, right? So these take and take every and take latest, it will try to listen for that particular action.
Okay.
Okay. So once we see the example, you will be able to understand. Right. Okay. Now we are going to see the example. So in order to work with sagas, what is our basic step? Basic step, we have to install the Redux saga, right?
Yeah.
We can install the library by using which command?
npm.
npm install, right?
Yes.
We can do this in order to work with Redux saga. Once we installed Redux saga, we have to intercept the Redux store actions by using the apply middleware, right? Like how we have done for Redux Punk.
Yeah.
Okay, so Redux Saga provides us one function called create Saga middleware. Okay.
Okay.
So once we call this Saga middleware, create Saga middleware, it returns some object, right? So this object we can pass to our apply middleware function.
Okay.
Okay, so once we pass this apply middleware function, the last step is to run the Saga or root Saga, whatever it is using this middleware. So unless and until if we won't run this statement, right, it is not able to listen for the actions, right?
Okay.
Okay. So now we will see the examples. Now what is our first step? We have to create a middleware, right? Okay, so that function is available in the Redux Saga library. So I have created the create Saga middleware object, and it returns an Saga middleware options object, right? Saga middleware object, correct? Okay. Once it returns us the Saga middleware object, what we have to do? We have to invoke the root Saga, right? Sagas. Okay, I will come to what is a root Saga. Okay, Saga middleware dot run. Okay, Sagas. Okay, for which Sagas are nothing but generator functions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so for which Sagas this middleware should intercept, those Sagas we have to pass to our run method. Okay. Okay. You can see this documentation, right? Okay. It dynamically runs Saga.
Okay.
Okay. So next step, we have to use the okay. We can use an API or we can do it inside of this login also. Okay. So this, you know, right? We are using the post method. For this post method, we have to pass the email and password, right? Okay. So once we pass this email and password, right? So it is a simple axios.post call. Okay. So our next step is to identify for which action we are going to invoke the login functionality, correct?
Okay.
Just okay. So whenever we click on login button, right, we have to dispatch an action, right? Okay, dispatch, which action we are dispatching? Okay, request login or something like this, right? Okay, so in case of the Tank, what we have done? We have attached a function for this request login, right? Correct?
Yeah.
So now we have to attach the worker saga for this, watcher saga for this request login dispatch.
Okay.
Correct? So now it is time to create the watcher saga. Okay, the watcher sagas are something you can see here. I have created a watcher sagas, watchers.js. Okay, so if you see what it will do, it watches for the dispatch of type login, correct?
Yeah.
And once it watches it, it invokes a function, okay, or it invokes a worker saga called login saga.
Okay.
Understood, right? Now, if you see our component login saga form.js, inside this, what I have done, on click of the button, right, what we have to do, we have to dispatch an action, right? Where is this button? Okay, just a minute. Okay, button type, submit, right? Okay, where I can find what is the form that I'm using for this login, right? So you can see the login saga form, right? For login. Okay, this is the login saga form. So I think I have hard coded. Okay, this dot props of login, which means okay, we have created a map dispatch to props, right? Okay, inside this we have the perform login, right?
Yeah.
Okay, inside this perform login, what it is doing, it is just returning a action object, right? Are you seeing?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
just in constants, I have created this action types. Correct?
Okay.
So in this way we can do it. So inside this, it is dispatching a perform login action creator, right? So it returns as a one object called with type login, and it has user, email, and props. Correct?
Okay.
So next, once we dispatch this, right, what it is doing, on submit it is going to call, right? So inside of that, it acts as a, or it binds this dispatch as a prop to the login, right? Property login. So we are dispatching this by using email and password. So what will happen, right? Now, whenever we dispatch this, right? So it looks for a type called login. Okay. What action type? Login, right? It looks for login action type. And for this login action type, what is the Watcher Saga that it is using, right? That it will use, that it will check by using the Saga middleware. Okay, for this we have created a Watcher Saga call. Okay, we have created a Watcher Saga call watch user login. Okay, this Saga for this Watcher or for this type of login action, we are calling the login Saga, right? This act as a worker Saga. Clear?
No. Actually, these authentication problems, I'm getting like confused. And I'm practicing also. If you show me like this, maybe like if you have time, could you like show me from the like just writing the program in front of me, because
Yeah,
even that one also I did not understand properly. Like while I'm practicing, I have lot of doubts.
Okay. So yeah, if you tell your doubts, right, so that I can clear it.
Okay.
What are the doubts that you have?
Can I like show you tomorrow?
Okay.
Yeah, because I'll again just note it down everything.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I think we'll go slowly then in that case.
Okay.
So first you have to tell, for this login form, what are the things that we are doing here? Okay, so whenever we are trying to access the /login, what we are doing, we are using the React router, right?
Yeah.
Okay, for this router, I think say for this URL, what is the component that we are going to invoke, correct? For that, what we are using? Route, right?
Yeah.
Okay, route path is equal to /login. We are using the login Saga form, correct? Okay, whenever user try to hit the /login, we are hitting the, or we are showing the component called login Saga form.
Okay.
Clear, right? Now, whenever this login Saga form will come, what it is displaying? It is displaying two input elements, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, two input elements. What are those? Email and password, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so it is a class-based component. So you have to look for the render method, right? What it is rendering.
Okay.
So inside that, we are returning one div. On this, it contains the email input element. You are seeing, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And next, password, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I just hard coded these values, this dot state dot email, right? And this dot state dot password. Okay, and also, yeah, it is actually, we are not going to hard code these values.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just we will use like this, but we won't have a default state values in our real time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so by default I have a state like this.
Okay.
Correct?
Yeah.
Actually, you will have something like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct? Now, like this you will have.
Mm-hmm.
So, whenever we enter these values, right? What will happen? These values will come to our state, right?
Yeah. Yes.
This you know, right, already, how to do that.
Yes.
Okay. On change of that, we are having and setting the state, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and we also doing the validations.
Okay.
Okay, request failed with status code 400. I think client side validations missed. Okay, so you can do those validations, right? You know how to add them, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so I have given email and password. Now, up to now clear, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, next step. Now, whenever we are trying to click on the login button, what we are doing, we have to dispatch an action, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have created a button. I mentioned type as a submit button.
Okay.
Okay, in that case, we have to use the on submit for the form. Okay, so this, whenever we click on the on submit or submit button, it is going to call this on submit function, whatever we have defined here.
Okay.
Okay, so this on submit, what it will do, just it takes the information from the state, correct?
Okay.
And also it checks the any validations also we can check, correct?
Okay.
If we miss any validations, what it is going to do, it is stop there and return from there itself, and don't dispatch the actual action to perform the login logic.
Okay.
Clear, right?
Yeah. This log gift is true. Is it is it another function or?
Okay. Yeah, you have to tell what is this login click. What I'm doing here.
We are just setting the
state variable, right?
state.
Correct?
Okay, yeah.
Login. By seeing this, you can tell login clicked is a state variable. We are making it as a true value, right?
Yeah.
So I think I'm not using any variables. It is a dummy variable.
Okay.
Okay. We can remove it,
Yeah.
not an issue. Clear it now. So yeah, next what we have to do, we are getting the dispatchers, right? Whatever we are trying to dispatch an action, we are getting them as a props, right? Okay, this you understood. Now tell me what we are doing here.
Which part?
This part.
No.
So yeah, just what we created one select function, right?
Okay.
So for this select function, we are passing to connect, right? Okay. So connect is to connect our store, right?
Yeah.
Our component to the store, right?
Okay.
To connect our component to the store, we are using the connect from React, right? React Redux.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yes.
Yeah. So now what it will do, whenever we create a function, right? For this function, React Redux will pass the whole store object here as a state.
Okay.
Yeah. So what it will do, we are returning one object back here, correct? Okay. So this will act as a or append to this component as a props, correct? Results will become the prop to our component.
Okay.
Clear it?
Yeah.
So if you see our inspect element, you can see the console. You will see the props, right? Props. Okay, login Saga form. You are seeing the props results, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, inside that you will have what is the initial store that we are using, correct?
Okay.
So clear it?
Yeah.
Okay, next. In case of dispatch, Okay, if we didn't use the map dispatch to props, by default, what we will get? We will get dispatch as a prop, right, to our component.
Okay.
You remember?
Yeah.
Okay. But we are trying to map the dispatch with our own object, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so now what will happen? Whatever we are returning object here, it will append these keys to the props for our component.
Okay.
Okay, now you can see the login will become a property to our component, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And also it is of type. What type is this? Is it what? This one?
That object?
Object. Is it object or function?
Okay. Yeah, it's function.
Okay. Which type of function is it? Arrow function,
It's
right?
an arrow function. Yeah.
Yeah. So inside of this, right, what we are doing? Just we have created one arrow function, right? Login is a property and it contains the function, right, as a value, correct?
Okay.
Now, if you see, it is something like we are returning the dispatch, right?
Yeah.
Correct?
Okay.
Okay. Now, inside that, what we are doing? Inside this dispatch, we are calling the perform login function, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if we want to dispatch any action type, what we are supposed to do?
Type.
Action, which type of action you are dispatching, right?
Yeah.
And what are the objects or properties that you want to send extra that you can do, right? Got it? Any data if you want to send by using this dispatched action, you can pass them how much you want, correct, as a properties.
Yeah.
Okay. So instead of doing this object, what we have done, we have created a function.
Okay.
Correct? What this function will do? This function just return us this object.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
If you go to inside of this, what it is doing? Just it is returning same, right?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Just we hard coded this into some constants.
Okay.
Clear it?
Yes.
Yeah. So now on click of submit button, what we are doing? We are calling a login property, right? Are you following?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, this login property is a function, right? I am passing email and password, correct?
Okay.
So what it will do? It is indirectly calls our this one, right? Dispatch of.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, instead of directly we are doing, just we used the map dispatch to props, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it is something like this dot props dot dispatch of this type,
Yeah.
correct, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, instead of that we used the map dispatch to props.
Okay.
Clear? Any doubts?
Yeah. Clear.
Okay. So now just I will uncomment this. Okay. Okay. Next we dispatched an action of login, right? Now, okay, in case of Thunk, what we have done? You remember? In case of Thunk.
Mm.
Now here we dispatched an object right here,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Yeah.
Now in case of Thunk, we dispatched a function, correct?
Okay.
So that is the difference between in case of Thunk and normal object dispatch.
Okay.
Yeah, so what you are going to do, just go through the Thunk example once, okay? Tomorrow
Yeah.
just let me know if you have any doubts.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so fine. Next. Now you understood this one, appstore.js.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here we have created a root reducer. This you remember?
Yes.
Okay, this root reducer have two properties, right? User book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can see it contains a user book. It is there inside of our login reducer, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So I have created one initial state.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for book reducer, I have created one initial state.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you remember if we didn't pass the initial state in case of the Redux store, what it will take? The reducer level, it takes the initial state value.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so that's why for user and book, you will have these initial states, whatever you are seeing,
Okay.
right? Items
Okay.
and error. Clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay, next. So in order to apply the middleware, right, we have to create the corresponding middleware, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so in case of Thunk, we have created the Thunk middleware.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have created a Saga middleware now, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so create Saga middleware we have done. Next, constant app store is equal to create store. For this we have apply middleware function. For this we have to pass which middleware we are going to apply for this Redux store. It can be Saga or Thunk or any other middleware. Now we applied a Saga middleware here.
Yeah.
Okay. So once we apply this Saga middleware, for this Saga middleware, what are the sagas that we are trying to run by using this middleware? We have to tell to Saga middleware object.
Okay.
Clear it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you go to our sagas, right? Okay. Now you can see I have written a sagas function, right? It is a generator function. Okay, so we are doing two watchers, right? Two watcher sagas. Okay, forget about this one here for the time being. Okay, just okay. Yield fork watch user login. Okay, so the fork is used to invoke the watcher sagas.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now we are calling watch user login. Okay, so for which action this watcher saga has to invoke, right? That we have to configure it. What is the action that we dispatched? Login, right? So for this login action, I want to call one watcher saga called watch user login.
Okay.
Correct?
Yeah.
Now, if you see what it will do by using take latest, right? This saga, if you see, each time an action is dispatched to the store, and if this action matches pattern, take latest starts a new saga task in the background. Understood?
Okay. Yeah.
So now, what is the action that we dispatch? Is the login, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So once it matches to this pattern, whatever we pass here, then what it will do? It will call this login saga.
Okay.
Okay, so this saga, right? This is a saga function, right? So this we call it as a watcher saga, since just it watches for the login action.
Okay.
But it won't perform any logic to log into our application, right? Or to call the login API.
Okay.
So just what it will do, just it will bypass the request to the login saga, correct? Okay. So now in this login saga, we have the actual logic to perform the request processing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what you are seeing, right? Here you can see the request. Now, if I click on this, right? Okay, let me search with this. Okay, you can see this.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you observed here? Okay, what you observed here? So, yeah, you observe here, it performs or it takes the whole action object, whatever we dispatched, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Correct? So, the
Yes.
Watcher Saga, what it is doing? Okay, it is calling the Worker Saga. Correct? And also passing the information of action object.
Okay.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay, by using this action object, what we can do, whatever the payload that we want to access from this action object, right? We can get it. Now, you can see, now we can get the user and email and props. If anything we require, we can get it from this action object, whatever we received as a argument to our saga, Worker Saga. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Next, we are dispatching an action, right? I want to dispatch an action saying that request started.
Okay.
Correct? So,
Yeah.
so in order to dispatch an action, what is the command that we have to use? Put command, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yield put type actions dot login start.
Okay.
Okay. It is a type of action called login start. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you go to login reducer, what it is going to do? It is going to check for which type of action that we have done. Correct?
Okay. Yeah.
Just what I am doing, I changed the loading to true. Correct? Got it?
Yeah. Okay.
Now, if you see our login saga form, what I have done, you can see. What is this? This dot props dot results dot user is equal to loading. Correct?
Loading. Yeah.
This we call it as a destructuring exception, right? Expression.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what will happen whenever you change the store? Automatically, your props got changed. Correct?
Okay.
Now, your component is going to re-render, right? Now, the loading value you will get as a what? True, right?
True. Yeah.
Since we updated as a true, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Now, what we have done for this? You can search for it. You can tell me here what I have done.
Yeah, if it's loading is true, then we are passing an image.
Yes, exactly. So, you understood that this is the image that we are calling.
Okay.
Correct? This image is showing, right? Whatever. Now, next step. Up to now, clear it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Next, what we have to do, once we tell them that we are doing a starting of a login, right? Now we have to perform the actual request, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actual request
Okay.
processing. You understood?
Mm.
Yeah. So what we have done here, just I am calling one function called perform login, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So for this function, what I am doing, I am passing our user and email, right?
Okay.
Okay. So this perform login is a Axios call, correct?
Yeah.
So we have to wait until it processes the request, correct? So now I am using the call command. Call is a blocking command, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you can see, create an effect description that instructs the middleware to call the function.
Okay.
Okay. Now we have called a function called perform login. Now it is going to perform login, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm doing the Axios request, correct?
Okay.
If it is success, you will get the response as a some response.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now in console you can see that response, right? This is the one, right? 14, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is the object, right? Inside that object, what you have? All your response information, right?
Okay.
Correct? Status 200, headers and data, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm doing, I'm returning a response back, correct?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If we are getting any error, what I'm doing, I'm throwing an error, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'll come to the error part. First we will see the success part. Now,
Okay.
once I got the response, what I'm doing, I am passing the response to store into the Redux store, correct?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, in order to store the response in store, what we have to do? We have to dispatch an action, correct?
Yes.
Okay, the dispatch action, how we can do it? By using put command, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Here what we are doing? We are doing a login success, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just it is a payload object. Inside that you have an object called response.data.token, correct? This is the one, right?
Okay.
So next, props, right? Props, where you have these props inside of your request, right?
Okay.
Got it? Now what will happen? It is going to our login reducer, right? for this login action.
Yeah.
Okay, now you can see in the console in success function you have an object called payload and response, right? Okay. So inside this payload, what I'm doing, I'm storing this token into our local storage.
Okay.
Right? Now, if you see the local storage application, right? Correct? You can see the local storage.
Okay.
I'm storing the token value, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Next. If one props, we are passing the props along with the action object, right? You remember? So by using this props, we are doing the one props work, right? So just how we are pushing the like how we have done for earlier, right? The same one. Here nothing will change.
Okay.
Clear, right?
Yeah. What is from?
Which one?
From. Like from.
From. Okay. Now, if you see this one, right?
Okay.
If we are trying to print the okay, one props dot location dot state. Are you seeing this?
Yes.
Okay. Now, let me go to the console. So, okay, so inside the object, right, you can see here. Now just I want to stereo. Okay, inside login Saga, you can see the props, right?
Yes.
Okay, now this, minimize this. Okay, now what we are doing, one props is equal to action dot payload dot props, correct?
Yeah.
So it is nothing but all this object will come.
Okay.
Correct?
Yeah.
So now one props will have all this object. Inside this one props, what I'm doing, one props dot location dot state, correct?
Okay.
So location dot state, what it is, the current value?
State. Undefined.
Undefined, right? So undefined means undefined, which means it is false, right?
Yes.
Now what it is going to do? It is going to check for from, correct?
Okay.
Yeah, just it is an object, right?
Okay.
Okay, it is an object, just it have a from, right? From path name colon slash.
Okay.
Correct? So, why I have written like this, you have to tell me. So, if, yeah, go ahead.
Or maybe we need to check the we need to if it's undefined, then we need to keep the route.
Route for which page?
For which
page? Home page, right?
Okay.
Okay, now you will understand clear. So just what I will do, just I'll create one paintbrush, print screen. Okay, now what I will do, I will just log out, right? Okay, I logged out from application, right? Now, if I am trying to go to about page, I didn't log in, right?
No. Yeah.
So that's why you will have a login page came, correct?
Okay. Yeah.
But after login, we have to go to the from which page earlier the user came to this login, correct?
Yes.
Now, if you see this object, right, props object.
Okay.
There is this login saga form object, correct?
Yeah.
Now, if you see this location object,
Okay. So,
what you found?
path.
What you find? Did you find any difference? Right, earlier you will have a state undefined, correct?
Okay.
Now, if you see the state, you will have a value called state, right?
Okay.
This is the state.
Okay.
It has a property, right? From
okay.
what is the type of this property? Object, right? Correct?
Yeah.
What it contains inside this path name, right? About.
Yes.
Okay. So for which path we have to go after completion of login? For this path, right?
Okay.
So
okay.
now if you see this one, now own props dot location dot state, what it is going to return now in this case, it is going to return you an object called from correct?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So now clear. If I don't find anything, what I will do, I just am returning to home page.
Okay. Yeah.
So now if you see own props dot history dot push. Okay, so always in order to push you must have a path name inside it as an object. Okay, that's why we are maintaining a path name property inside of it.
Okay.
Okay, so what it will do, it will push to the login form or home page now. If you have a from reference for this, right, about, it is going to the about page. Now if you see.
Okay.
Understood?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is about the success. Okay, tomorrow we'll continue with the failure and other saga.
Okay.
Yeah. So here, all are interlinked. So you have to practice from Redux to React router to Redux. Then only you will be able to understand these examples.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, tomorrow we'll meet. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.